Hi everybody, happy Halloween. Thank you for joining me on this Saturday. If you guys didn't actually see this on Halloween on Saturday, sorry about that. It might be Sunday when it actually gets uploaded. A pretty busy day today, and I'm not exactly in full costume, but right now I'm going for the tired pumpkin look. That seems pretty suiting for right now. Later, I don't know what I'm going to dress up as, but my daughter's going to be trick-or-treating inside the house and going to each door, that's actually my mom's house, and getting candy from each of the bedrooms. So, playing it safe this year. As much as I would love to take her trick-or-treating and just be gone for hours walking around, probably not the best idea this year. So, anyways, thank you all for joining. And as you can see, I got a lot of my strawberry stuff out. So that's what I'm going to do today before we get going with other stuff. But a lot of my strawberries are starting to get roots, so I'm going to clean them up. And I didn't really feel like digging through my pots and finding some good ones or taking a chance and planting them outside. I don't know if it's going to get windy again, but I'll show you guys in a second of what the wind did to some of my yard. It made a mess, and I guess there were gusts up to like 90 something miles an hour on Monday. But yeah, it was really bad. One place where I was, it knocked out the power for a second, so that wasn't cool. It kind of sucked. And messed up my beans, so you'll see that. Pretty bummed about it. But this is what I'm going to be doing today. Getting some of my strawberry plants that have real nice roots situated in here, and then I'm pretty sure it's okay to just put this in the ground when I'm done with it. There's not that much ink on it. I probably should do a little bit better research on recycling these or composting them. But we'll go with that for now. If I find that that's not a good idea, I will just take them out and put the strawberry plants in the ground. But I have some soil that I got from outside, so I'm going to use that. It's actually some bagged soil that I had in one of the planter boxes that didn't really get used, so I figured that's okay. I typically have pretty good luck when I'm planting stuff, and I have my little spray bottle to water them. These strawberries, these were from last weekend, and I left the long stem on there because I was actually going to put them in there, but I kind of didn't. But they have some roots on them already. I think I will leave these ones for another week, and I'll probably switch them with those ones. So there's that. Yes, I recycle all kinds of stuff, or upcycle, whatever you call it. This one, these might not be good. They had dried out. Oh, this one has roots. We'll set that one aside. So I kind of messed up by not keeping an eye on this one. If they're not good, I'll just throw them in the compost. No big deal. Still a little bit of a bummer, but it could be worse. Have some in the window. These ones have been there for a couple weeks. And yeah, all used containers. But wow, that has some pretty good roots on it. Check that out. That one, I don't have any doubt that it's going to do well. And then this egg carton, it's just temporary. This one has some new growth on it. Little leaf popping up there. So these I feel pretty confident about. Cats were already dirty. Yeah, I'll just clean my table after I'm done, because I'm sure I'll make a mess. That's what I do best, make a mess. I'll just put some of the soil. You don't want to really bury the crown on there. You kind of want that at the top. And this isn't going to be their final home. I'm just getting these situated. And I want the roots to be able to start doing their thing. So I'm not sure how many plants I'm going to end up putting in here, but I could even cut it or rip it. This isn't really hard to get separated when I want to put them wherever I'm really going to put them. I think in a couple weeks I'm going to finally do the project that I've been yapping about making columns. So then maybe I could put these in the columns that I'm going to make. We'll see how that actually turns out, what I really do. I'm not really too concerned about these guys being a little crowded right now, because it's not like they have a huge root system going on. I doubt that I'm gonna mess anything up when I go to transfer them. And that's just my personal opinion. But see, the roots aren't huge yet. They're still doing their thing. I don't feel like I'd be doing any harm putting maybe 4 in here. And plus, they probably want to be doing more than just sitting in water. Oh, look, we got the worm. I tried to pick out all the worms and leave them in the planter box. So sorry, little guy. I'll put you back outside. That was actually a real worm. This is a fake worm. The decorations. So there are 3. Look at these. I'll cut off some of those leaves too. I don't want them rotting. But wow. Very nice. I like it. I'm not going to have to buy any strawberry plants. I should really label these. The ones that I showed you in the bowl, those are Albion. So I will for sure forget that. So I better slap a little sticker on there or something. But that's what I'm doing with these. The soil's already kind of damp. And I'll actually probably set these outside tonight. If I'm gonna be gone for a while, I might bring them inside. Maybe I could talk somebody else into taking care of them. But they should be okay. I don't know what that was. Maybe a part of a worm. But see, that's all that I'm gonna do. I have another half of the little egg carton. But to me, that looks really good. I'll probably give them another little spritz. So, go get the other half of that. The strawberries that I had in here, I had taped them just so they didn't fall. I probably can't reuse that. I changed the water a couple times just so it didn't get too nasty. Majority of those looked pretty good. I also have a water plant in there. But there's that. Clean that out. Tried using a clothespin to secure some of them. The tape actually worked a lot better. I just used some cheap duct tape that I got at the dollar store. There's a lot of good stuff there that you could use, especially if you're not really sure what's going to work. They typically have smaller amounts because it's only $1. And then plus if you mess something up, it's not going to be too painful because you didn't really spend that much money on it. But I recommend checking out those places because they do have a lot of cool stuff to kind of mess around with. I also have more runners outside. The strawberries that I have in the one bed, I kind of just let them do their thing. So we'll see how that turns out. And then I can just separate them later when I'm ready and put them in where their final home is going to be. Because I do have a lot of stuff to go take care of outside. And I'm just trimming off the leaves that look like they're pretty much dead anyways. Because I don't want it messing up the rest of the stuff. Maybe I'll put that in the center. Cover it up a little bit. Be careful, you don't want to bury the crown. And this one, see, look at those roots, look really nice. And I did not put anything in the water. It was just normal tap water. I know some people say to let the water sit for a day because of chlorine that's in it. I haven't tested that theory. I don't know how much it would help it. Maybe next time I do it, I don't know, put 2 containers, one with tap water that I got like right now and one with some water that I had aged. But to me, that looks really nice. And then I'm still gonna be careful with the roots. I don't want to damage them. Well, I want to try not to damage them. Probably also try not to make that big of a mess. It doesn't matter how careful I am, I'm gonna make a mess. At least I have a broom, I'll just sweep it up. So that's fine. This one, the roots don't really look too big yet, so I'll trim it up. What's interesting though, I do see some new growth. This little leaf growing, but the roots are so tiny. So I think this one I'm going to put back after I clean up that bowl. I don't want to just put it back in there and it's kind of nasty. But look, this one looks real nice. Nice roots peeking out. Looks really nice to me. So there's that guy. I'm not really being too cautious with the spacing in here. Being more cautious that I don't mess up the roots. I don't bury the crown too much. And I'll probably leave these in here for a couple weeks, mainly because I lag it big time at doing my projects. So they're gonna be in here for a couple weeks. Yeah, this one, maybe it'd be okay, maybe it wouldn't. I think I'll just leave it in some water a little longer with its little buddy. And these ones, I forget what kind of strawberries they were, because I'm really horrible at labeling things. I have good intentions, but it just doesn't work out. This one I'll probably rinse it off first. Got some yucky stuff. That's all I had in the window. But look at that. So nice looking. Very happy with it. And when I'm done with these, I'll spritz them with some water too. This one definitely needs cleaned up. And you know, if I mess these up, well, that'd be a bummer. But at least I know I have more outside. Like this one I'd like to see little better roots. So that'll go in my go back pile. This guy looks pretty good, just needs cleaned up. Feels like a strong one. Yeah, I'm happy with that one. So put him in there, and then, you know, I'll leave this be. Make sure I don't mess up the crown. And then I have it so I kind of picked it up a little bit after I set it in there, just because I don't want to bury the crown. I need the roots covered, but I don't want to mess it up. And I don't know how many I just planted. 9 of them. That's not bad. Planted 9. So there we have it, a big mess. And leaving these guys, I'm actually going to clean this and then put those in there probably next weekend or maybe tomorrow if I have time. I'll go out there and I'll see what other runners I can cut and bring in and let them do their thing for a while. The weather, it's still pretty warm during the day. I know the days are getting shorter. We turn our clocks back tomorrow morning, tonight, whatever you do, same thing, we're asleep. But yeah, I forget when it's going to get really cold. Typically, it starts getting chilly after Halloween here. And I'm in Southern California, Zone 9B, Riverside County, if you want me to be a little more specific. And our first expected frost date, it's not till mid-December. It could be before, maybe after, but I'll just keep an eye on the weather. And I noticed when it does, we do get frost when temps get that low. They don't really stay like that. As soon as the sun starts to come up, it warms up. It does stay cool, but I noticed the little amount of frost that we get, it hasn't really hurt my plants. I do have chard out there that I would expect to get damaged, so I'll keep an eye. I don't have anything covering anything yet, and if I am going to do that, I'll do a little video on what I do and show you guys. But this is what I got done today. Got some of my strawberries in here. They look pretty good, and these were just runners from the plants that I have outside. These ones, they're either Albion or Aromas. I don't think they're the Ozark ones, because I don't think I picked these from where that one was. In the future, I will do a much better job at labeling, but either Albion or Aromas. Both were really tasty strawberries, at least in the area that I'm in anyways, and I had pretty good luck. The thing that I have them in outside, there's some little towers. There wasn't really enough room for the roots. I think they're like 4 inches. That's how big the pipes are. So this time I'm going to make columns, and I'll show you guys the video on that. They're definitely going to have a lot of room for their roots, because I noticed the ones that have a lot of room for their roots, the plants are bigger, probably because they have more room, and the strawberries were also a lot bigger too. The ones that I have out there in the towers, while it looks really cool, they just don't have the room for their roots. I've also planted basil in those things and marigolds. The marigolds did okay. I got a lot of blooms. The basil, it didn't do as well as it would have done in the ground, probably for the same reason, but it was usable. I put cilantro in there too, and same thing, there just isn't enough room for the roots. It's cute. It would be a good fun project for like little kids, because it's fun to do and it's cool to see a little plant growing, but you really do need more room for them to spread out their roots. So I'll show you guys that, but thank you for watching. I should probably think about cleaning up my mess. Oh, and here's some of the tomatoes that I picked. I am still getting tomatoes. You guys will see that on the little part when I took you guys outside too. I'm not sure if these green ones are gonna get ripe, so we'll just see what happens with that. But thank you all, happy Halloween, and I'll talk to you guys later. Thank you. This little bummed about the cover. I guess caught the wind, ripped that out. Those were screwed in there pretty good too. At least it wasn't like spring and I had to start all over from the beginning. Banana plant's still in there. I mean, all that stuff, it'll recover. Plus, glad it's fall, not spring. Beans. These guys are on the ground, so it's not like the wind was gonna pick those up and throw them. So my 2 gourds still look pretty good. Oh, This tree kind of got messed up. That guy's really getting big. Now for the sad part. My corn was drying anyways, but my beans, that's a bummer. They're looking so nice, but yeah, it ripped that thing right off of there. So that's a bummer. I'll fix it today. Wonder how the corn's drying. I'm gonna have to check it out. Tomatoes, could have done a better job at staking them. A couple ripe ones in there. Don't really look too bad. And that's funny, nothing's supporting this corn and nothing happened to it. These tomatoes got a little messed up. One that's almost ripe, I can pick it. See a little ladybug over there. It's a nice sight. But yeah, that's a bummer. They'll be fine. I could cut that stuff off. Because I do have a lot of tomatoes in there. There's the giant. Just leave him be. Oh yeah, these guys got messed up. My zucchini. But again, at least it was fall and not spring when stuff's just starting to get going. But there's a little update back here. Gonna clean it up a bit today. Picked the ripe tomato. Something took a couple little bites. I'll just cut that off. And it could also use a couple more days. So it'll finish ripening in the house. That one looks cool. Could pick that one. A little bit of spider mite stuff on there. Looking for more ripe ones. There's a big one underneath there. This one I could pick. A couple more on that side.